Gun of a son. Following last year's shooting at a Michigan high school, the school district has been hit with multiple civil suits, and now the shooter's parents are getting charged too.
Tonight, the parents of accused school shooter Ethan Crumbley are about to turn themselves in, according to their attorney, after being charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
Apparently, the killer's caretakers ignored subtle warning signs like him bringing live ammunition and the severed head of a bird to school. Boy, show and tell got wit. Kristen, I know some folks don't like the idea that folks can get charged for another person's crimes, but if I can sue because I slipped and fell in the 7-Eleven, shouldn't I also be able to sue when negligence results in a school shooting?
Well, another good way to think about this would be if someone comes up to you and they're obviously really drunk and they say, I want the keys to your car, and you give them those keys and then they go and they kill someone. Yeah, you should be responsible for that. You could have stopped something terrible from happening. What worries me about this case is this is clear cut, right? These parents knew that something was wrong with their son, and they were not just allowing but encouraging him to have access to firearms. So it seems obviously irresponsible. But you've also got a lot of troubled young people out there whose parents may not be able to get them help. They're not taking them to gun ranges and things, but if their kid, does something terrible, where do you draw the line at where a parent is or is not responsible for their kid's actions? That's what I worry about a little bit. This is a clear-cut case, but not everyone's going to be.
Now, T.I., you know a thing or two about children.
Yeah.
We're responsible for our children, but at what point do the sins of the child not become the parent's responsibility?
I think, man, for life, we will always bear some level of responsibility for our children and their actions. Should it yield jail time? I feel like exceptions are made for exceptional circumstances. This seems to be an exceptional set of circumstances. They started buying this young man guns and taking them shooting at a very young age. So I don't know if they should be arrested for the murders that were committed, but they should definitely be arrested for negligence in offering a child this kind of weaponry without the proper guidance and without everything else that should come along with it.
Just never give a little white boy a gun. He's dangerous, I'm afraid of a blood in a crip. You know what I mean? I ain't afraid of black people with a gun because we don't practice, first of all.
See what
I'm saying? But a little white boy show up the first day of school. Is this the cafeteria?
Yeah. You bringing up a good point because, if the school administrators and parents are on the table to be charged, shouldn't we be able to hold gun manufacturers accountable as well?
I think the gun manufacturers is a step too far because, again, there are guns that are purchased legally that are made for good reasons. And so in the same way that, the analogy people always use is the car, right? Can you hold Ford responsible if somebody takes a car and hurts people? Can you hold a liquor company responsible if someone drinks themselves to death? I mean, there is a limit to where I think responsibility needs to end. I think the manufacturers is too far.
So what about the stores then? Because if to your point about the keys, right? If I'm a kid and I go in there to buy an AK-47, shouldn't somebody behind the counter ask some questions?
Well, and especially if you as a store have not followed the rules that are in place, then I think there needs to be a big crackdown on that. And to the extent that there aren't rules in place that say you need to be doing good vetting of people, make sure there are good rules that say you need to do good vetting of people.
I would love to experience this level of freedom because I know if I were to go into a gun store and ask for any type of firearm or ammunition, people would be notified immediately.
Well, that's because of your record, though.
Is it?
Yeah. If you had a clean record, I think they wouldn't bother you. Maybe. You think? Personally, I say, you should put some blame on the parents. If your kid tells you he's hallucinating and draws pictures of folks getting shot, maybe cross that Red Ryder AK-47 off his Christmas list, all right? Hell, even without the warning signs, the number one thing that should disqualify a kid from owning a gun is a kid really wanting a gun. What do you need a gun for?